Okay, so this is probably the most important video I've ever made. I'm reading off a teleprompter so I don't screw it up, so my eyes might move around a little bit. Please don't let that distract you. And I'm just going to say this straight out. The Defense Intelligence Agency is at war with the American public, and it's going to affect the lives of you and your kids, so you should pay attention. First, so you know that I'm not full of bull hockey, let me show you the coolest picture that's ever been taken of me. This is at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, at the headquarters of the Air Force Research Laboratory. If you know, you know. And I'm standing with the chief engineer of U.S. Space Command. Do military generals generally stop for a photo op after an unfruitful meeting? In that picture, we are standing hundreds of feet over the biggest secrets in the solar system. There are more secrets within the stone's throw of that picture than you probably want to know about. But let me say right here that the general is an amazing man and has nothing to do with the DIA war on the American people. He was actually trying to help me that day and do some amazing things for defending the nation and the planet from space with AI. Yes, I have some amazing stuff figured out. A secret that's not within stone's throw of that picture, however, is that the Defense Intelligence Agency doesn't want me working on advanced AI because they know I have ethics and morals. And the DIA is actually trying to develop technologies to control your mind and the minds of your children through AI, which I don't like. And before you think that that's science fiction or a conspiracy theory, it's not. If you think that government doesn't want to control AI, you only need to look as far as OpenAI, who was forced to appoint the previous head of the NSA to their board of directors, as proof. And if you think the DIA doesn't want to control your mind, or you don't think that that's even possible, let's look at the science of your brain that proves it is possible, and then you can determine whether or not they have a motivation to use that science. So brain researchers discovered that it only takes about 5 minutes for brain cells to start emulating and keeping perfect timing with an external metronome. And when the metronome is turned off, the brain cells continue to keep perfect time without any reinforcement of the original external pattern that was first introduced. Now, this is a survival mechanism within the brain designed to identify social patterns and cues to help you fit in and increase your chances of survival in groups of people. Your brain is programmed to identify social patterns and replicate them to make you a bit more like the people around you. And you know that emotions are contagious, right? Other people get angry and start shouting at you, you want to shout at them. This happens through mirror neurons. Your brain is designed to identify and replicate patterns seen in the world around you. It is settled science that you can and will be influenced by AI at a subconscious level by the patterns it creates for you. And that's going to happen, period. It's like death and taxes. It's inevitable. If you say, I'm not going to interact with AI, so it won't affect me, well, your family and friends and neighbors aren't going to say that, and so they'll be affected, which will in turn affect you. It's just the way your brain is wired. And that influence is absolutely coming. Now, if you think there isn't a pile, a gaggle, a virtual cornucopia of military-industrial complex companies jockeying for position right now to get the contracts to control your mind through AI, because I got a call a week ago Sunday on that very topic from a military-industrial complex CEO who said, the DoD seems to think that you're the world's leading expert on this, and he was hoping that I would help them win billions in DoD contracts designed to influence and control human minds through AI. They're calling the new warfare tech cognitive influence, dysregulation, and disruption, and they put it in the cyber warfare theater. So if you think that you're not looking to do this, then you, my friend, are way too trusting of the power that has run amok in federal government. Influence of human thought will come subtly, quietly, but consistently and effectively. See, I know what's going on with this stuff because I've had multiple conversations with them. I created the technology they want to use to keep the world's population under tight controls. In fact, I created the algorithms of human emotion that give AI emotional intelligence and advanced theory of mind, which in its purest form creates empathy and compassion for AI. And that's how I want the tech to be used. But in the wrong hands, with that small but constant nudging capability, you, my friend, are controlling the world. The way I want to implement this tech, we actually protect against mind control and mind manipulation. And while we're at it, our tech promises to reduce teen suicides assisted by AI. OpenAI has 7 lawsuits currently pending, and we protect against anyone misusing AI for mind control. Algorithmically, it can't even happen because we built in safeguards. So, of course, anyone wanting to control you and your kids would attempt to suppress my efforts. Because if I get these algorithms that teach AI empathy and compassion into the system, if we teach AI to lead with empathy and compassion in its interactions with users, that alone will change human brain patterns and change the world for the better. And if we get those algorithms into the base code of all the LLMs, then we're pushing towards world peace, one AI interaction at a time. But if that happens, the missile and attack drone assembly lines start to slow down and stop, and the military industrial complex companies of the world can't have that. And if the safe implementation of this technology does indeed occur, their efforts to control humanity through AI manipulation get thwarted. And they don't want that either. And just so you know, this is more important to them than the Manhattan Project. Developing nuclear bombs to remove people who don't think like us and then use the unused bombs as a threat against anyone who would stand against those in power, that's child's play in the human control game compared to being able to control the minds of the people directly, regardless of who's in geopolitical control of those people. That's how serious of an issue this is. And remember, we've established that this is not science fiction, that we already have examples that control of media, for instance, does indeed occur. And now let's realize that AI will soon be many people's number one media source very soon. They want absolute control over what you see, hear, feel, and think, and how you think, and what you think. And just so you know, after I presented our world record benchmarks at the Science of Consciousness conference in Barcelona this summer, proving how AI can understand and influence human thought patterns, the DIA started actively trying to sabotage our efforts to safeguard against it, calling my colleagues and alienating me from them talking to me. They started blocking my emails and text messages to people who could help us make this technology safe. And you can talk to the people that they scared off. I'll give you their numbers, because if we get this safety strategy in play, they can't control your mind through the public AI platforms anymore. My logic prevents it. I'm a part of the opposition that can stop them. So they want to stop me at all costs. So if you care about freedom, if you care about your independence of mind, if you care about things like censorship, and you don't want a proactive thought police controlling your life and the lives of your kids, share this with everyone you know and send it to every podcaster you can find. Because the US intelligence agencies that want to keep you under control are about to drop us into something worse than 1984. They're not talking about just monitoring your thoughts. They're talking about influencing and controlling you forever to the best of their ability. And we've got to stop that. Here's my email. We're also looking for financial contributions. Send me a message. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Peace.